The Effects of Light Pollution on Dermochelys coriacea by Caroline Martinez Rivera and Xiomara Martí Ramirez. Hello, my name is Xiomara Martí and my partner Caroline Martinez. We will be talking about the problem that face many organisms, but especially Dermochelys coriacea, or also called as the tinglar in Puerto Rico. As an island, there are many organisms that use fishes as a breeding and nesting destination, as it does Dermochelys coriacea. This presentation consists of explaining how light pollution is the major problem that causes the extinction of these species. It also provides information about how those different types of light affect their life cycle, solutions to the problem, and various research questions that inspired us to investigate this situation. But many of these questions are for us to keep investigating about this problem in our island. Searching for an interesting, we found out about Dermochelys coriacea and many factors that affect their life cycle. Everyone talks about trash on the beaches or mastic fishing and how these are affecting their life cycle. But forget about the light pollution that is the main reason why this species is endangered. Some of the questions that inspired us to investigate about this theme are: in what season, time, or how many times in a year they come out to breed? How many lives has been taken in the past 5 years? How the law is implemented and what are the consequences of not following it? What are the life expectancies of these species? What are their preferences of habitat for nesting? Where do they migrate and where do they are endangering? Compare their extinction to other turtles with the same problem. What types of light affect them more? And also compare the deaths in Puerto Rico to other countries. The tinglar is essential on our ecosystem, thus the big and rapidly effect of the extinction should be known. Our goal is to start awareness of this effect, look for ways to reduce or eliminate the causes of artificial light at night that affect these organisms and our environment. Friendly illuminations like LED lighting should be implemented in hotels, restaurants, and other infrastructures near the coast. Puerto Rico, or also called as the shining star of the Caribbean, is the country that uses more energy per square kilometer worldwide. On the shore, many hotels and restaurants do not only invade the habitat of some marine animals, but also put at risk their survival with unnecessary illumination. Places of tourist interest in Puerto Rico, like Fajardo, Vieques, Culebra, El Condado, Boquerón, and La Parguera, as you can see on the map shown in Figure 4, are always changing the nighttime environment for different organisms in an unacceptable way. As Michael Bray states in Environmental Pollution and Biodiversity, Light Pollution and Sea Turtles in the Caribbean, the increase in lightning over the last 2 decades has resulted in the loss of close to 1,800 sea turtles in the Caribbean, worth up to $288 million. Many sea turtles, like Dermochelys coriacea, that nest in Puerto Rico are being affected by the light pollution. This turtle is the only species that presents a subshell. That is why it is also called the leatherback sea turtle. The subshell has 7 crests. The skin is black with white dots, measures between 130 and 175 centimeters, and it has 2 front powerful fins with no claws. The largest leatherback sea turtle on record was found in Britain, and it measured around 305 centimeters. Dermochelys coriacea is the turtle species with the wider distribution on Earth, as you can see on the map shown in Figure 6. This map represents the nesting area of Dermochelys coriacea around the world. Also, its origin goes back over 100 million years ago, but regrettably, now they are endangered. The female and also the hatchlings are disoriented by the light. They are supposed to follow the moonlight in order to enter the ocean, but end up eaten by a predator on land or dehydrated. The leatherback sea turtle and many other organisms are essential in our ecosystem. Without them, the habitat for other organisms, starting on the ocean, will be affected drastically, ending in less diversity. As a fun fact, turtles go back to the beaches they were born to breach. It has been investigated that by their mnemonic capacity of memorizing the currents, temperature, and the sound of the waves, they permanently memorize the exact place they were born. The female leatherback sea turtle makes her nest a few meters from the highest sight line. It makes a stone cutter to deposit the eggs. The hatchlings come out approximately 40 days after the breaching, but they can stop their migration depending on the temperature. The critical point of this migration is how they orient themselves to arrive at the beach. Most of the time, they migrate at dusk and dawn, or when the temperatures are low. Because of the high temperatures, they can become dehydrated before reaching the shore. It is not quite certain how they orient themselves, but the moonlight and at the horizon and the sound of the ocean helps stimulate them to reach the shore. The moonlight acts as their compass, as you can see on Figure 7. The hatchling is following the moonlight. The biggest problem for the orientation side of the turtles are lights much brighter than the moonlight, commonly known as artificial lights. These types of lights are perceived by the turtle as the moonlight and affect their orientation while migrating to the ocean. An investigation by Witherington on 1992 on what type of light and illumination affects the orientation of the turtle. It was proven that mercury vapor light, or white light, significantly affects their orientation. On the contrary, sodium vapor light, or yellow light, does not directly affect, but can have some negative effects on their orientation. In figure 8, there's a table where you can see specifically all the types of light that affect the hatchlings and the specific watts and everything you need to know. As it is seen on the image, figure 9, artificial light gives specific directions to this animal. On the other hand, the moonlight gives a large range, and that is why they get disoriented. If they follow the artificial light, they can end up in the ocean. Some wavelengths are harmless to the leatherback sea turtle, such as specific types of light sources like light bulbs and LED lighting that emit a wavelength of specifically 450 nanometers. This wavelength is virtually invisible to sea turtles, except where they can directly see the intensity of the light source itself. The way we orient the light can also be helpful. It is important to always illuminate from top to bottom, to never project the light horizontally because they can confuse it with the light of the moon. Always point the light in the needed direction. It is also recommended to use visors. The light pollution has its effects on the life of these creatures. As you can see on the image, figure 10, the life cycle of Dermochelys coriacea, the creatures migrate to the beach. Then they develop into adults. The mating process takes place, and then the female comes ashore to nest. The crucial points in this cycle, which are the turtle's migration and the female's resurfacing, are affected by artificial lights that shine over the beaches. The creatures who perceive the wrong light and become disoriented are more exposed to predators, and the mortality rate increases. Having many sources of white light also prevents the leatherback sea turtle from getting out of the water because it perceives that it is still daylight. This affects their breaching cycle because they breach at night. Year by year, the mortality rate increases, causing the species to become endangered. As shown on the graph, figure 11, the tingler nest has been decreasing over the years because of the light pollution. This graph explains how the tingler nests change by time. In 2002, there were only 50 nests, and by 2011, increased to more than 250 nests. This contamination problem is creating a gap in the ecosystem and how it works. How can we help solve this problem? There are many solutions that are important for the community to participate in. One of them, organizations. Even though there are some worldwide organizations like Sea Turtle Conservancy or local ATMAR, known as Amigos de las Tortugas Marinas, they should aim for laws prohibiting types of illumination at night based on studies, rather than asking for respect or consideration of these species. Second, education or awareness. The ecological importance, survival, and the effect it causes in the ecosystem because of poor reproduction on Dermochelys coriacea should be all over the news, magazines, TV shows, schools, and colleges. The main cause of this problem is lack of knowledge. Third, friendly illumination. As I have stated before, the type of light we use is very important, especially when it affects the animals that are part of our environment. The concept of friendly illumination, also known as sea turtle lighting, is to use specific types of light sources, such as light bulbs and LED lighting that emit a wavelength of 450 nanometers, so we do not disturb with the turtle's light pattern. This wavelength is virtually invisible to sea turtles, except where they can directly view the intensity of the light source itself. It is also recommended to use visors and to point the light to specific directions needed only. And finally, the direction of light. The way we orient the light can be helpful. As Bourgeois, Gillot, Fremont, and Villafont all said in their investigation, it is important to always illuminate from top to bottom, to never project the light horizontally because they confuse it with the light of the moon, and always point the light to the direction needed only. There are some pictures you can see of friendly and non-friendly illuminations to learn effective methods. Not only political and economic problems affect Puerto Rico drastically. Many people lack of knowledge that organisms that contribute to our ecosystem in various ways are dying because of our irresponsibility. It is our duty to inform those who are ignorant of the topic, to make sure they understand the damage that everyone in some way or the other is contributing. Also, to let them know the principal problem for the leatherback sea turtle's death as it is the light pollution. It is also our responsibility to look for answers and solutions to improve this atrocity of contributing to the extinction of these species. The major steps to accomplish this purpose are to investigate more about these species so we can familiarize more with the situation, and to know how as a society we can help this species to complete its life cycle without us affecting it, and if it is possible to improve it. Thank you for your attention. We hope you liked it. Any questions, do not hesitate on contacting us. Have a great day.